everybody. My name is Shaleiah Sanders. I am the CEO and founder of a nonprofit called Life for the Hopeless Foundation. We focus on spreading mental health awareness in minority and underserved communities. I've been doing that for 4 years almost, but it's a part of my testimony, a part of my journey, and I'm gonna share that with you. In 2019, I lost my dad unexpectedly. I found him on the floor, and that image stuck into my head because I had never experienced anything like that. So I lost my best friend all within a time span of a day. He walked my son to the bus stop that morning, and around 4 o'clock that afternoon, we came home and found him on the floor. And imagine explaining that to an 11-year-old who has a grandfather who was active, going to sports, going to activities, taking him to school, walking him to the bus stop. How do you explain that? Because I couldn't explain that to myself. And that was the first time I had ever experienced grief before. 11 months later, I lost my grandmother because COVID was coming in and she was in a nursing home facility. And I had spoke with her that morning. She was fine. She was in the chair. She was eating breakfast. To get a call 2 hours later saying that she had passed away. No explanation, no nothing. It was just that she had tested positive for COVID and she succumbed to that. She had a seizure unexpectedly. So imagine dealing with losing your father, not even processing it all the way to dealing with grief from your grandmother who raised you. And it took me to a dark loop, a dark hole. I was so depressed, dealing with anxiety, and still trying to be a parent the best way that I could to my son, and trying to explain to him that death is something that we have to expect that's going to happen, but it doesn't have a time or a day or a place. It just happens. And I told myself one day, after looking at him, looking at me like he didn't even realize who I was, that I needed to get myself together. But how do I get myself together? Because in a minority community, therapy is just something you just don't do. It's just something that you don't believe in. And I said to myself that day, I have to break that stigma, and I'm gonna break it starting with me. And I went to therapy, and it was the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. My therapist told me in order to grieve, you have to find a positive way to grieve, a positive way to cope with the things that you experience in life. And I took that, and me dealing with grief turned into Life for the Hopeless Foundation. And it helped me to maneuver my pathway of living life and helping others and going back into the minority communities and telling them my story so they can learn to accept therapy or learn that the resources are available to them if they just see it for themselves. And I'm glad to say that I'm servicing over 180 families right now. We started off small, but it's a major move for me because we deal with at-risk youth. But right now I'm seeing so many vulnerable seniors that come in and say, for forever, therapy has been against what we do in our household and our walls. But I want to better myself for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. So how do we do that? So we do that by building a relationship with them, by going into neighborhoods and canvassing on doors and knocking on doors and telling them that you are not alone. There's resources out there available to you, but at first they want to know that you actually genuinely care. So we show them that we care, and we break that stigma, and we give them hope through life. Thank you.